Today, I'm building a massive theme park with a ton of motorized rides that really work. There will be shops, mascots, and so much more, with a full park reveal at the end. We're starting with roller coasters, so I got online and placed a huge order. Rest in peace to my savings. So far, the coaster has a huge drop, but then abruptly ends, which reminds me of Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you can launch guests on incomplete coasters, which traumatized my childhood. So let's try it. The next portion is this loop that's built using illegal techniques. To ride it, we'll need serious speed, which we'll get with this motorized accelerator. It's time for the moment of truth. That was awesome! It took a ton of work and fine-tuning, but seeing it really work paid off and made it all worth it. All that's left now is the entrance. It has a UFO theme and is filled with aliens. We'll call it Flight of the Glorpians. Now it's finished, but basically filled the whole table, so I added another one since we're just getting started. Let's officially open the park. I'm calling it 3 Realms since it'll be split into 3 themed lands: Space, the Wild West, and Castle. To get in, guests can use traditional tickets or scan in with a phone, which the FBI is definitely not tracking. And if you're rich and want to flex, you can scan in with a VIP wristband. Let's start the castle region. First, we'll build the gateway. It's a giant archway connecting 2 towers. To give it some color, I added some flags, and to greet guests, there's a king and his soldiers. Flying a dragon sounds incredible, so that'll be our next attraction. The heads are mounted upside down, with minifigure stands used as spikes. With our horde of dragons assembled, let's simulate their flight. Tall, thin towers are notoriously fragile, so I reinforced this one with Technic rods. The mechanism on its own is ugly, so I concealed it by creating this castle around it, turning the ride into something you'd really find in a theme park. Let's rig up the dragons and their riders and test it out. And surprisingly, it worked better than expected. It really looks like they're flying. Back in Space Realm, it's time to build the gate. It's supported with coaster tracks, but features space-themed builds like this planet and rocket. The next ride is centered on gyrospheres. Since they keep passengers upright no matter how they spin, they're the perfect piece for building an anti-gravity training simulator. To board the ride, ascend these steps that glide back and forth to keep guests safe between cycles. Let's move on to the Wild West. The sign is constructed with old wooden planks and supported by barrel pieces, but it's a bit too simple, so I built this 6-shooter. And what's more Western than a stick of dynamite? For its wick, I'm using Indiana Jones's whip piece. With those additions, we've completed our western entrance. Our first ride in the Wild West is another coaster, with a dark blue track built up with tall wooden beams. It's inspired by classic Lego Western sets. Guests are armed with revolvers as they ride rickety carts into a gold mine overrun by outlaws. Careening into the mine, you'll discover a motherlode of rubies, emeralds, and gold nuggets. However, the bandits have staked out the mine to pillage it for themselves. Whoever blasts the most bandits wins.
And that's how this Wild West was won!
After busting the outlaws, guests can cool off and grab a bite to eat at the saloon. These cacti surrounding it completes the western theming. To enter, barge in through the swinging doors, and head to the bar to find a variety of beverages to wet your whistle. The saloon's balcony is accessible through this staircase. The dining tables are constructed with repurposed wagon wheels. After finishing your meal, help yourself to some extra target practice. In Castle World, our next attraction is a jousting tournament, but it was way too wobbly and kept falling apart, so I scrapped it and started over. The new version uses rubber bands to launch the horses at high speeds. Your objective is to knock off your opponent using this foam-tipped lance. To accommodate waiting guests, I built a viewing castle beside the arena. This old stained glass castle piece looks really cool when it's lit from behind. From here, spectators can watch the action. Additionally, it doubles as a character meet and greet for the king and queen, and families can gather round for a photo. Our final ride in the space realm is a drop tower that simulates an alien abduction. I started with the tractor beam. Then, I added the parts needed to power the ride's pulley system. Guests are anchored in place on this cart using sideways building techniques and parts like these steering wheels. And above the tractor beam floats the Glorpian UFO. And let's just say, Esplin 9466 has a very unhealthy curiosity about Earthlings. And after fixing a few mishaps, the ride was up and running, making it the perfect experience for guests who love sci-fi and mild doses of trauma. A haunted castle is our next addition. Using this rare hexagon plate piece, I created this cool tower that's complete with a spire roof. And after spending entirely too long on the design, I finally finished the exterior. It's built to be fully displayable whether it's open or closed. There's small details on every side, even the back. However, we still need to design the interior. Crossing the threshold, guests are confronted by ominous candles and a mirror with eyes that follow you. On one end, you'll find the lab of the mad scientist Frankenstein.
It's alive!
And on the other, Dracula's crypt.
I do not say blah blah blah.
Up on the second floor, the drone of an organ that plays itself echoes through the halls, and it functions using this internal mechanism. This stone bookshelf is actually a secret passage that's activated by this ancient goblet. If you find your way to the other side, you'll discover a collection of ancient relics. The dungeon is in the tower. And a ghost glows from the castle's spire. And nothing says keep out like wrought iron fencing. With that, we've completed our haunted castle. Our park's gonna be huge, so guests need to travel fast, which brings us to our Wild West train. It has a dark red and gold color scheme that looks really luxurious. The cowcatcher on the front uses crowbar pieces to give it the proper shape, and the conductor operates from this control cabin. The second car accommodates passengers with a top-of-the-line experience. The windows are trimmed with gold ingots, and the cuisine is the best the park has to offer. Following the passenger compartment are two boxcars housing the train's motor and speed sensor. By using switch tracks, the train can navigate every portion of the park. No park is complete without a souvenir shop, so that's our final build. Inventory includes replicas, toys, posters, costumes, and so much more. In the window, popular items are showcased to lure in customers. Just don't expect anything to be cheap. A t-shirt alone will set you back $30. And with our final shop complete, ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you 3 Realms theme park. This all came together so much better than I could have hoped. With all of the rides running at the same time, it actually looks like a genuine theme park. Guests are hanging out, taking photos, exploring the park, and doing so much more. I'm so happy with how all of it turned out. And let me know your favorite ride down in the comments. See you later.